Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So season 20 is just right around the corner, and today we're going to have a wish list of whether we like the current rank system or the hot debate or problems with current ranked. So I'm going to pass it off and we're going to introduce Drumbum and Ross. Go ahead and give a quick hello and introduction.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy Asor Drumbum, and I'm super excited to talk about ranked. I've been playing a ton of ranked this season and in the past seasons, and I'm ready to dive in and see what we can change.
Yo, what's up everybody? It's Sor Loki Ross here, and I haven't played as much ranked as Drum or Daz, but I'm here to provide my input as well. I've played a lot of Apex in general, so I have a feel for everything, I feel like.
Exactly, which is why I brought you guys both here, because I know Ross has played ranked before, but these are the questions that we're going to ask. Let's start with the first one. It's like a simple yes or no. Do you like the current ranked?
No.
No. I think it's a consensus that the answer is no, for sure.
All right, well, if we both dislike it, what do you dislike most with the current rank? So Drum, we're going to start off with you.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I definitely have a couple of things that are, I'm sure we'll dive into at this video, but I'll just leave it short. My number one, the number one thing that frustrates me the most about ranked is the fact that we lost splits. I definitely think that the longevity of playing one ranked split over 60 plus days or however long the season is really boring and really hard to maintain anything. We're all full-time creators here. I play the game every single day for 8 hours a day, and maintaining pred rank seems almost impossible because it's the number in the inflation is so big because the time frame is so long. And for the average player, they're gonna hit the rank that they want to hit, and that's gonna be it, and they're not gonna play ranked again for 2 months, and they'll just put the game down. So I definitely think that my number one complaint right now, the reason I dislike ranked, is that we need splits back. We need more active players and that want to be more invested in the game. And on the content side, it gets really boring watching the same ranked season over and over with no changes. Really, whether it's map changes, whether it's RP reset, whether it's the pred race again. I think I even personally think splits should be even shorter, but we'll get into that later. So yeah.
All right, Ross, take it away. What do you dislike most of the current ranked, or why have you been avoiding? Why have you played?
So the biggest reason why I haven't been touching it is the way that they match make everybody. So obviously the first thing anybody will say is, hey, just find 2 friends and play with them. But there are so many people who don't have friends or don't play with them, and I know their experience has been somewhat similar to mine. But basically, I've hit masters countless times in the past, but when I was doing my provisionals this season, I waited maybe, I don't know, 1 week before I started doing provisionals. I wanted to solo queue everything, see if I could solo the masters, because my community enjoys that type of content. I'm rookie 4, doing my placement matches, and my second match on, I have 2 teammates who are diamond or masters already, and I died to 2 people within the top 10 preds. So I'm over here sitting there, I'm like, well, this is gonna be a long grind. This game says that I'm a rookie 4 player, and I'm playing against people who are pred, and so that just means to me that for the rest of my climb, I'm going to be put in masters pred lobbies and still having to climb all the way up from the very bottom all the way to the top. And I just don't see any value in this rank system because of that, because I feel like if you're already putting me in these lobbies, you might as well also put me in that rank, or don't put me at pred because I haven't grinded that much, but at least put me in diamond. If nothing else, if you're gonna put me in these lobbies, put me there. But instead, it seems like there's a rank that you can see, and then some other hidden MMR that also goes into the rank system. And I just don't understand it. And because of that, I don't see any value in grinding it, because it just makes the grind way longer. And my goal would have been to solo to masters and then stop. But since I'm already in masters, why am I what do I have to prove?
That makes sense. Well, they implemented this season, this is a sidebar, the trials. Is that anything that both of you like?
I think it's kind of complicated. For the solo queue player, that's a whole topic within itself. For the solo queue player, they're terrible. I can't even imagine going through what that would be like, trying to grind through the ranks and as a solo player and have to win a game or whatever the trials may be. I know at a certain point it is only win games. That's impossible for a solo player. But I will say, as someone who has solo to masters quite a few times but refuses to currently in this system, I will not play this game in ranked solo ever, never again. I do enjoy the fact that when you are with a team and you are playing consistently, that there is something that you have to break through in order to get to the next rank. I really do enjoy the fact that you do have to do something like win a game. It kind of puts the pressure on you in a similar way to competitive. And my biggest thing about ranked is, personally, I want ranked to be as close to competitive as possible for the average player to have the most competitive, enjoyable like experience, because we all know the number one thing in all of Apex is ALGS, right? It's competitive Apex. That's the thing that everyone loves the most. That's what brings in the most attention. So why not give us something like that's close to that experience? And having to win a game to rank up is like the closest thing I can think of to like something like a match point format, where you have to win the tournament. So you have to win a game to hit the next rank. So on baseline, for the player that is playing with other teammates, I think it's really good. But for the solo queuer, it's impossible almost.
Yeah,
Ross?
I would agree with Drum a lot of what he had to say. I feel like having the challenges just to rank up, it's a super cool idea, but the problem, especially with people who are solo queuing, is that you're gonna put one solo player with maybe two people who are not in the same spot as you. So for them, you know, the end goal might be just to place top 5. They're okay with maybe inting or doing something stupid once they've, you know, they're like, okay, you know what, it doesn't look like we can win this match, let's not try to, I'm just gonna go ahead and do whatever because we can't win it from here. And they just sort of like give up on the match early, if that makes sense. I've seen it happen to some of my friends when I've watched them play. They'd be like, I'd see them type to a randoms, they'd be like, why did you do that? And they'd say, well, there's no chance we could win, so like, why should we try? And then they'd be like, well, I'm in my promotional matches, so we gotta at least try it. You guys didn't even put forth any effort, you know, you're just kind of, you're not throwing, but we could have played that better. And a lot of people are sort of put in really awkward situations because their teammates just don't have the same goal for each match as them. Obviously you do want to win, but sometimes you can't. And for those people that aren't in promotional matches, they just don't care. They're like, okay, go next. So those people are in a really, really weird spot. But I do think that the idea of these promotional matches for teams that are 3-stacking or that are in a group, I feel like it really, like Drum says, it really brings the most competitive element of Apex out of you. You know, like you're really putting forth everything you have because that match is literally make or break. Well, you have like what, 5 tries, I think, but that, like, those matches really will give you the closest resemblance to what could feel like ALGS style matches. Now, given maybe the rest of the lobby isn't playing the same way as you, because maybe the other 19 squads aren't in promotional matches, but you know, for you, it's gonna feel like the most high stakes, and you get the most reward if you win. It makes sense.
It does make sense. So what I'm hearing so far is to match make appropriately based on your rank. And then we're also hearing, you know, bring back rank split so that it doesn't feel like a grind. But even with trials, that it's unfair because it deters that solo queue experience and makes it very overwhelming, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. It
So
definitely is.
let's try to
Absolutely.
pivot here, because the opposite spectrum. Is there anything that you guys like in the current rank format that you would like to keep that you do enjoy?
I think for accessibility purposes, I don't think that it's a bad idea, like that you can play with anybody of any rank, right? Like the thing is, if matchmaking, like what Ross was talking about before, if matchmaking was optimized a little better, like, well, a lot better, more correctly, then those people who are in those lobbies, like say that I'm in okay, so Ross doesn't play ranked, right? But me and Ross are, we're in the same skill level category. So it makes perfect sense for us to play ranked together. But if Ross hasn't touched ranked in a month and I've played every day, so I'm, at 50,000, 60,000 LP and he's in plat, he should recognize, okay, like, because he's in plat, he knows that he's going to be in my matchmaking, because the matchmaking should tie to the highest ranked player. So being able to play with anybody, I think, is a really good thing. I like that addition because it does promote more of less solo queuing and people play with other people. I personally, like, my streamer take, which is kind of a little bit away from the reality of the average gamer, is that I think that ranked really shouldn't be for solo queuers unless there is a solo queue ranked mode. Ranked, the whole point of ranked is to play the game how it's meant to be played at the most competitive level. And we know that Apex when it came out, was known as a team-based game. Everything they wanted to do was based around how legends work with each other. And obviously we see that even more now with characters like Conduit and stuff like that, how important it is that, like, you have good team synergy. So I think that's where ranked is, like, shines the most. So being able to play with anybody of any rank, I think, is a good thing. If matchmaking is treated correctly.
That makes sense. Ross, what do you like? I mean, I know you've been kind of avoiding it, but if there was something.
I haven't touched it that much, but I actually personally am a fan of how placement just plays such an important role in how much LP you actually gain per match, because I think that a lot of people in the past were just W key, don't care where we place because we are all of our points through kills. And obviously to a degree you still see that, especially with, you know, pred level players who are maybe, you know, top 50 trying to just climb. Obviously the kills are going to matter way more to them than someone else, but I do think placing a level of emphasis on placement also leads to more intense, more fun, more enjoyable end games for not only the players but for maybe anybody who's watching as well. I feel like when you get those sweaty end games, like no matter what happens, even if you're the first team to die, there's 7 squads left, last ring, you're just like, dang man, that was a fun match at Apex. You're like, I had fun, like I want to queue up again. So I really actually enjoy the fact that placement matters.
The next question I have is, so you know, this everything is a time sink, and we saw in the season introduced was banners for as a reward. Do you feel that these rewards are enough, or do you have any suggestions on rewards? Is the incentive to rank there for the casual player, for even the player who's spending way too much time in this game? Drum Bum.
Yeah, I do think the banner frames is a good addition, especially that it replaced dive trails. I think dive trails are the worst possible thing you could ever give somebody, because it's almost a punishment. You know, it does look cool, they look sick having a pred trail, but you know, when you play a pub and you have a pred trail, people tend to treat you differently. I'll just leave it at that. But so I do like that change, but I definitely think that ranked rewards should be super different than what they are now. They're way too minimal in my opinion, especially when it comes to the higher ranks. If you're in the top, like if you're in top 750, first, I think that the game should have in-game leaderboards. Like in-game leaderboards as a reward is a huge deal. Like people can make or break their pro careers based on leaderboards, can make or break their streaming careers. But even outside of that, just bragging rights, like to be on a leaderboard of top 750 of, you know, obviously it could be like separate for every, you know, input, whether it's like, you know, console or Xbox, PlayStation, or, you know, PC. But I definitely think that leaderboards would be a great addition for the ranked, especially because we do have 750 preds, as well as like you know, exclusive skins. If you hit masters in season 21, you should be able to get a certain skin, or even if it's not a legendary skin, but a certain skin that only people who hit masters in season 21 could have, whether that be a weapon skin or anything. I think the more that you're giving people for an incentive to succeed and to play the game mode, especially to want to get to the higher levels, the better. So I definitely think our rewards are super lacking. My opinion, the two most important like rewards that we could get, like I said before, just to clarify, is a leaderboard, especially for top 750. Instead of, we have to go to external leaderboards, but in game, you open up the rank tab, you open up the leaderboards, you can see everybody there. I think that's a huge reward in itself, as well as like maybe exclusive skins, especially for the higher rank you go, something like you know, something for diamond, something for masters, something for, you know, pred. I think that would be really, really sick.
Nice. Ross?
All right, so this is just coming back to my personal experience. Like I mentioned earlier, right now, if I logged on to Apex, I'm pretty sure I'm gold 2 or gold 3. If I were to queue up, whether it's with drum or whether it's with randoms, I'm going to be playing against masters and preds. And because of that, I feel like the rewards are just not enough, because you're telling me I'm in gold. I have to fight my way through these master pred lobbies all the way up just to get a banner, weapon charm. What else? Is there anything else that I think that's it, right?
I believe, I believe that is it for now.
Like,
yeah, banner and weapon charm, that's it.
I'm already in those lobbies that you're supposed to grind to where you get the reward, and I don't personally think that the reward is a lot to begin with. But because I'm actually gold, according to whatever system the game uses, I have to play against these people over and over and over again. Whereas in the past, it was get to that rank and then stop, because the reward was the goal. So for me, I feel like you're going to have to give me a lot more rewards to incentivize me playing the game again, or at least ranked mode, because it's just, I don't see any point. I don't think that the rewards are even close to enough.
That's pretty big.
At the same time, I don't really know. Like Drum had some good ideas, but besides that, I don't really know what else they could add. I guess like just like skins that reflected your rank would probably be the number one thing. But outside of that, I still don't even know if that would be enough for the current situation for SBMM in my eyes.
It's a really solid point for anybody who's watching who's a casual and you end up in pred master lobbies the rest of the time. That can be incredibly infuriating because your end goal is just the uphill battle. Doesn't feel worth it, especially if you're already in those lobbies. So I'm going to merge these next two questions and put the W key meta that you see versus placement meta, meaning what should be granted more. Right now we have a forced mix, I guess you can call it. I mean, once you get kills, I mean, I guess placement does matter more in the current format, but there are still teams that'll run down the lobby. So Drumbo, I'm gonna start with you. This is W key meta versus placement mattering. You know, do you get a win versus, you know, ending with 12 kills, or, as an example?
Right. Yeah. So this is where I don't envy being a game dev, because this is such, to balance stuff like this is so difficult. Because you do want to, I mean, at the end of the day, like in a perfect world, you want a mix of everything. You want to be able to say my kills matter, but also my placement matters. You know, we've had honestly, in the lifetime of ranked, there's been so many changes. There's been seasons where if kills literally meant nothing for a whole season. There was a time that placement literally meant you could drop 10, 15 kills and get double the amount of points as the person that got first place got. You know, we've experienced so many different versions of like what that looks like. In my opinion, if you would go back and, you know, if you guys want to watch any old videos or anything of season 13's rank splits, the first one, I believe that was the peak version of what we see. Kills did have an impact, but the way that they were determined, that they didn't have an impact until top 10 or a certain point of placement. So teams were surviving. We were seeing, you know, 15, 16 teams round 3, round 4, things that we saw only in ALGS. But obviously this is in these were in, you know, diamond lobbies and plat lobbies and gold lobbies where people were really valuing their lives, where you had to have the skill of being able to, you know, win in games to actually rank up. And I think that's the best situation that we're in. Kills should definitely matter. They do impact the game significantly. There should be a point system involved with them. I'm not saying they should go away, but when you force kills to matter less in the early game, people start playing more responsibly. And when people start playing more responsibly, the health of the system, the health of the game is so much better. Like I said before, I think that ranked should be a watered down, accessible version of competitive. And that's where the drive for people who want to play Apex is. People come to play this game. You know, we're 5 years into the cycle of this game, but people are still new players because they watch ALGS for the first time and they're like, wow, this looks amazing. And then they hop into ranked games and, you know, there's only 2 teams left in round 3, round 4, even sometimes, you know, or round 5 or round 2 even sometimes, excuse me, round 2, there's only 2-3 teams left. So I definitely think that prioritizing placement is the most important thing. But I think that if we kind of revert back to something similar to season 13, where kills had an impact, but only in the later portions of the game, that we see a healthier system, in my opinion.
Ross, your thoughts? Now just repeat the question. W key meta versus forcing placement, meaning placement matters and kills, just to kind of prep you, give you a little bit of time before you talk. All right, Ross, take it away.
Kind of like what Drum said at the end. His sort of thoughts on the rank system are very similar to mine, in that rank should be the closest thing to a watered down version of competitive that we have, so that people who can't compete or just will never actually compete have a little taste of what it's like. And because of that, I think that placement should matter 100 times more. And if you've watched ALGS in the past, it's not a surprise at all when a team who plays for placement and has really good positioning earlier in the match for the late game, they farm kills. They farm a crazy amount of kills. You know, maybe you find the god spot, you have a few poke guns, and you just farm people coming in from edge. It's happened over and over and over again. And I think that when you emphasize placement like that, it's very easy for the teams that look for early game positioning to leave the match with a lot of kills as well, just because they've beat everybody to the spot. Everyone's kind of scrambling, trying to figure out where they can get in, how they can play the ring. And, you know, that one team is just chilling. They're like, all right, well, I don't have to worry about it. I can just figure out who's easiest pickings for me. Like, I think that forcing placement will just lead to not only teams who play the game quote unquote correctly getting the most kills, but it'll just also, like Drum said, lead to just a more healthier rank system, and a rank system that plays out a lot more similar to competitive Apex.
Roger that. Now let's give final thoughts. We've talked about a lot here, just to kind of do a recap. We talked about what we dislike, what we like, wanting rank splits back, the trials, the solo queue experience, SBMM, talking about the meta and balancing all this. So coming full circle, things that we might have missed, because this is still a lot that we still broke down. I think a lot of people are going to be able to relate to it. What are your final thoughts? And we'll kick it off with you, Drum Bum. on ranked, and then we'll go to Ross.
Yeah, of course. So I think something that a lot of, especially like creators and other people in this space that have platforms to talk about the game, kind of lose sense with is, the biggest attraction to Apex is ranked, including the average player. Now, a lot of times we think of ranked as, pred players and high level players or people who take the game very seriously. But that is the biggest attraction to the entire game, is the rank system. The average person doesn't really want to hop on and play pubs all day. They want to hop on and play ranked with their friends and feel like they're achieving something in their time. They may only get to play for an hour or two every couple of days, but they want to feel like, okay, in that time I went from, silver 4 to silver 3. That was a great day. It was a great session with the with the homies, not the boys. We're not saying that, but with the homies. So it's like really understanding that makes a big difference. So we have to cater to the rank system and make people want to grind it again. If you look in, like, for example, a couple years ago, Courage JD, a huge YouTuber, for the first time, and he was seasons late into the game, decided to hop into Apex because he didn't want to play Call of Duty anymore, or Fortnite anymore, and he got addicted to the rank system alone. He went from solo queuing to playing with other people, and we see it happen over and over with so many different big creators and other people. That's the average Apex Legends experience. So if we clean up and take care of the rank system, then our game has the ability to have such an amazing, so much longevity. And my biggest thing is, like I said at the very beginning, that we have to have rank splits back, because when something is refreshed and renewed and updated, people care about it again. And 60 plus days of one rank split, people are tired of it. They get tired of that very fast. But I think if we have a really good system in place that's competitive and that's fresh and that's enjoyable, and brings people that ALGS feel in their living rooms or in their offices or at their desk, then we have a huge success on our hands for a very long time. And I personally will grind double the amount of time that I do now.
That's amazing. Great response, Ross. That's something we got to work here out. That's a tough follow up.
No. Because the truth is, I've had a hidden agenda this whole time on why I really want rank to be better. And
Okay.
I think it's fine. I think it's just time for me to get this off my chest. I want the rank system to thrive, but it's not for any of the reasons that, it is for those reasons, but there's a reason above all of them. And the reason is this: the most fun that me, Low-Key Ross, has playing Apex Legends, and probably some more people than you would imagine, we love just running around acting so silly in pubs. But guess what? Because the rank system is so wild right now, we have to fight Jimmy, Limmy, and Timmy, who are playing ranked in pubs every single day for 8 hours a day. So listen, if they fix the rank system, I promise I'll be the happiest person alive, and I'm willing to put forth whatever effort and help them in any capacity to help them get ranked where it needs to be, so that rank can be the most competitive version of ranked. And then pubs, I can just chill and have a good time and smile and not lose my sanity when I get triple landed on by ALGS squads playing pubs, because ranked is just ranked. Sorry for my language.
You speaking facts? What's the difference between SVMM for these two platforms when they both got skill-based matchmaking?
But yeah, I think ranked being the way it is right now has that effect on pubs as well. Having a lot of people think, what's the difference? Like, I might as well just turn my brain off, do the same thing in pubs, not really have to worry about a number in the top right of my screen. And as a result, a lot of pub players do not have as much fun playing pubs. So I think if you fix rank, the rank players will be happy, and if you fix rank, the pub players will be happy. So who loses?
True.
Facts.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we wrap up, don't forget to follow Drumbum on twitch.tv/Drumbum, as well as twitch.tv/Lowkey Ross. Follow them on their YouTube channels. Links are going to be down in the description down below. Thank you, gentlemen, so much. You guys have been amazing, giving your thoughts and insight. Let's see what we get in season 20, right? Watch everything you guys talk about, we actually get. Hopefully. We pray, right?
I'm manifesting.
Pray to
Manifesting.
the All-Father.
Comment down below your thoughts, how these two gentlemen did, and we'll see you guys all in the next one.
Peace, y'all.